Over the last week, I collectively spent over 24 hours playing VRChat. Initially, I planned to do that in one sitting, waking up, eating food, and using the toilet all without taking my headset off for a second. I wanted to fully immerse myself in VRChat, because believe it or not, there are actual chronic VR chatters that spend days inside it, and live their lives similarly. But no matter how hard I try to record such a video, OBS will just keep crashing, and according to my calculations, a single 24-hour video clip will take up around 500 gigabytes of space, which is suboptimal for Premiere Pro. So here's the next best thing. I did it in two 12-hour sittings. Trust me when I say that I could feel the heat of 1000 suns coming from my PC during each one. And you might sometimes notice the effects of overheating and low frame rates or weird cropping, but trust me, it was much worse for me, because every time I saw an anime girl, my PC experienced a nuclear meltdown, and I could physically feel the room temperature rise by the minute. Now, if you haven't played it, weren't there during its initial boom, and haven't seen any of the personal stories from VRChat players shared on YouTube, here's a quick introduction. VRChat is a free multiplayer cross-platform game where you can choose your own looks, travel to different community-created worlds, and talk with people just like you from all around the world. With a VR headset like Oculus Quest, you're also able to freely move your arms and interact with other players in more direct ways, like poking, showing hand gestures, and even hugging. There are currently 24,000 monthly players and 25,000 community-created worlds where you can play chess, watch movies, relax, pilot jet fighters, or take a serene horse ride. So it goes without saying that I was pretty excited. First things first, I had to find an experienced VRChat player. Someone who spends more time in VR than outside. Someone who could be my guide in this virtual world. But that didn't really go as well as I planned. You know how they say that only death and taxes are certain in life? Well, they're wrong, because the full saying goes, the only things certain in life are death, taxes, and kids in VRChat. Everywhere I went, everything I saw was just kids or furries or both simultaneously. You know, for all the coverage VRChat gets as a community of weeps, I didn't see a single kid that was wearing an anime avatar. And it is impossible to enter a main page world without seeing a Baldi or Poppy Playtime or has-been hotel characters or furries that sound like they were born yesterday. And of course, it's only people in these avatars that dare to rob a virtual McDonald's. Man, why aren't there so many kids in fursuits? You know, this combination has an atrocious record. I'm not saying that furries are bad necessarily. You have been kicked! I'm just saying that at this point, I'm convinced that over 60% of VRChat's player base has learned their first word just yesterday, which surely can't be good. There were full-on roast battles between kids in the official Sanrio X VRChat collaboration world, which sits right at the top of the main page. And guess how many people were in the official collab world between a Japanese conglomerate responsible for Hello Kitty and all of these characters and a $500 million company? No, not 100, not 500, but a whopping 2 of these kids and me there. I legitimately spent over 4 hours trying to find a person who would talk and not be a kid before I found these two guys.
I've been maining like Black Cat, Great Pug and stuff for like years. I keep forgetting that there's just like normal people in normal worlds.
Heard that? They have been playing this game for at least 5 years already. This was exactly what I was looking for, but I was a little too shy.
Here. If you just go to like those random worlds that have like 5 to 10 people in it, and they're just like completely random instances. Bro, this game becomes the most chill game that's ever existed. It's so fucking weird.
I'll take this advice. Thank you very much.
And so I followed their advice by joining Horse Mountain World. I tried to be open and talkative. Oh hey, but there was basically no one there. That is, until I randomly climbed onto this mountain and met a bunch of guys who just liked sliding down from this virtual mountain.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. And you?
Honestly, these guys were so nice. Never before was I just so openly accepted into a group of people as here. And after seeing 4 kindergartens worth of kids, it was such a breath of fresh air. After all the sledding fun was over, I took a trip to this world. Aside from the fact that this world was completely festered with kids, I met 2 chill Russian guys and they recommended me a world where I could apparently fly and pilot jet fighters. Oh dude, this world, this one went hard. I spawned there, guns blasting everywhere, Oppenheimer references left and right, and gun rounds lighting up the skies. It felt like Vietnam all over again. Yet somehow, the real hell was trying to read this controls guide, which was written in Minecraft enchantment language code. The controls themselves are absolute garbage. Half of them struggle to work consistently, especially the throttle, which for some reason only works Monday to Friday and often results in this. Once you get the hang of it, and the fact that you have to lift your arm to take off on a heli, a very poor design choice that I will simply not tolerate, the world becomes somewhat fun. But the real fun begins once you get your little hands on a machine with air-to-air missiles. AAMs are completely broken in this game. They are basically a kill on command button.
Bro, oh no! Dude, we're getting shut down.
I think I spent a total of 5 hours playing in this world with my friends, because once you get a hold of AAMs, you feel unstoppable. The degree to which AAMs are an unbalanced piece of junk is flabbergasting, though shooting slow targets with guns and rockets also felt pretty fun. Tired from all the action but still in dire need of combat, I joined the chess world with a friend of mine. Honestly, the chess world almost instantly became my favorite. It's just such a pleasant and calm place. I guess the game of chess is way too complicated for kids, so aside from some random trolls that vanish into thin air within 5 seconds of them appearing, it's a nice and quiet place where you can just relax and play some chess to your heart's content. That is, until you get your ass absolutely demolished by a random person with an elo of 2000. And while I was observing my friend get annihilated, I was approached and invited to a game by this lovely fellow. We were on a somewhat equal skill level playing, but the thing is, as we started to talk more about our lives and how our cultures treat life differently, the game became more of a background to the gripping discussion.
Honestly, I just want to talk to you, though.
He then created a private world just for us to hang out in. I've never experienced so much pure care from a stranger. Man, we just kept on chatting on and on for like 3 hours, though most of that time was just me yapping. What do you want to be when you grow up? We've all been asked this vexatious question at many points in our life. And if you always found answering that question easy and have found your true calling, then that's great, man. From the bottom of my heart, I'm happy to hear that. But for the rest of us, it's so hard to answer this simple yet cruel question. Like, hell, how is there a right answer when things like midlife crises exist? I never really settled on a single answer until one day I discovered art. As cheesy as it sounds, drawing, painting, and other forms of art are some of maybe the most rewarding experiences I've had in my life. And when I discovered art, a part of me grew sick with all the science and math stuff I had to do since I was a kid. But the problem with pursuing any creative career is that, paradoxically, you industrialize it. With workplaces that produce you and your creative skills into a machine with an output of a certain quality, and most studios turning into the most decrepit factories, turning creative individuals into infinitesimal numbers. But talking to him opened my eyes to a new perspective.
Don't want to lose your other skills too, because it defines who you are too. Remember, they're all who you are. Your art side, your logical side, they're all you.
This was something I never really took into consideration. I always treated my creative side as a completely different part of me. I didn't want my creative part to do anything with anything remotely academic. I rejected it with utmost disgust. I can't even point to a reason why. Maybe it was all that pressure for me to go into STEM, for all the years that caused such a visceral reaction from me, but hearing a piece of honest advice to accept yourself from a person online was something truly indescribable.
It's not one thing that defines me, everything. So it's just more.
It would have taken years for me to come to this realization by myself, and here's a guy from the other side of the world just giving me some invaluable advice in a virtual world wearing the same piece of technology as me. That is incredible. Thank you very much. You have opened my eyes to something I never even envisioned.
Yeah.
And with that, day 1 came to an end. I had a meal and headed to bed. I didn't record it, but just for the sake of committing to this lifestyle, I decided to try sleeping in VR, because there are actual deliberate sleeping rooms you can join in VRChat like this one.
Alright, sleepy time. Good night.
Honestly, sleeping in VR doesn't feel like sleeping at all. After sleeping 10 hours in them, it felt like I just took a 1-hour nap, so personally, kinda shit, I would not recommend it. After waking up on the second day and remembering how yesterday ended, I immediately hopped back into the chess world. Somebody was missing a chess partner, so I decided to accompany him. We ended up having 3 games back to back just because we were so lost talking to each other.
I'm from Tennessee.
I didn't get his name and I wanna protect his identity, so I'll just call him Ryan. Ryan was a guy from Tennessee around my age. We talked a lot about our lives, the difference in our cultures, and the education system.
Not school, I do not like it, but hey, it gets me through, you know.
And while I still wasn't exactly sure what path I wanted to take on professionally, Ryan apparently had already gotten accepted into a college, and I couldn't be more happy for him.
I already applied and I got accepted.
Yo, congrats, my brother.
We talked about the military, patriotism, having purpose in life, and even anime.
Yeah, I'm a religious person, I pray.
It's really nice to have honest conversations with strangers just like that. Eventually, he had to use the bathroom, which I only assumed was to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, and we parted our ways. I decided to join a small world called the Quiet Room. But let me tell you, the marketing was a complete scam, as when I joined the world, it was completely filled with chatter. Naturally, I went towards it, and there was a full-on debate going. So, like any normal person would do, I put on some nice music to accompany it.
I'm having the time of my life.
But sooner rather than later, a guy dressed as Walter White cardboard cutout showed up and dropped a video of some black guy twerking his cake. Naturally.
Mr. White, why would you do that?
The argument went on and on and on.
Sorry, kinda new. Is this a normal thing that happens a lot in VRChat?
Not usually.
Yes, Asian man.
Asking this question created an opportunity to get close to a guy from New Jersey and 2 Australians. I just realized that I sound like some spy. These guys were some of the nicest and most open people I've ever met.
I liked it there very much.
It's nice, but it's a little bit hot, I think.
You know these times when you just talk with your friends about the most random thing ever?
What is this dirt made of?
For the first time playing any multiplayer game, it really felt like I was just on the same wave with somebody.
That's like almost 3 hours.
3 hours? Man, climate is kinda weird.
After talking for like an hour, a brilliant idea popped into my mind. What if I invited them to check out the VRChat world? It would be so awesome to shoot other players together. But that went like usual.
We're getting shut down. Who is spawn camping?
Pretty soon though, everyone had quit and it was just me and Nathan left. But man, the VRChat world does a great job at making you sick of all the noise, so there was no better place to go than to the chess world.
Alright, let's go.
Not gonna lie, Nathan completely demolished me in chess. He was cooking up some Magnus Carlsen type strats while I was still pushing my pawn to e4. Everything went pretty smoothly, except our tables kept breaking. We searched 3 different chess servers for some vacant tables that would work, and luckily we found one. Everything went well for the most part. Until...
And you said that it was fine and...
Really quickly.
What?
Really quickly. We gotten reports down there that you guys were like, I guess saying the hard R. I'm not sure.
This day, I have no idea what these guys were talking about. Mind you, I have all the footage of me spending my time with Nate, and we didn't say anything like that the entire time. For all I know, this dude was the chillest guy in the world, but these guys kept accusing us of saying the N-word.
So one of you was it?
So they gave us a 2-hour ban from the chess world. In their defense, when they asked whether we said it, I said,
no, I don't think we did. I'm sure we didn't, as a matter of fact.
So it did come off as suspicious, but this is just my manner of speech.
Yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. You didn't sound too confident, and they unfortunately did provide us a clip. You can, if you want to ban appeal, you're gonna be banned from any chess game for 2 hours.
We asked them to present evidence, to which they only responded that we should join the Discord server. So we asked them to open Discord on their phones and play the audio of the clip to the mic.
There's been people in here for ages. Yeah.
Are you good?
Are you satisfied now?
Yeah, we love to say the word.
Yeah,
Did you guys
I'm
say that?
so
Okay,
satisfied with. Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro.
Unfortunately, you guys are banned for 2 hours if you don't remember.
I proposed sledding down the mountain in no other than the Horse Mountain World
So-
to Nathan.
Try to equip a horse and let's go.
As we climbed that steep mountain, I remembered how it all started. Just me and a couple of guys sitting and chatting in a quiet room.
What was that?
So I asked Nathan about his friend who couldn't join us in the Vietnam simulator.
So that guy, are you like IRL friends with them?
He told me that the friend he was with in VRChat is someone he actually knew for a really long time.
He moved from Canada to Australia in 2017, and well, we became friends since. And we played this game called Friday the 13th, if you've ever heard of it. He has some extreme views, if you get what I mean. I mean, I'm the bipolar opposite of him.
These guys were charming in their own ways. Nathan was one of the coolest and most laid-back guys I've ever met, and his friend was really animated about everything we talked about and had just my type of humor.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, the thing is, he does get angry a lot, and I don't really get angry. I mean, when me and him argue or debate, whatever you want to call it, he gets much more louder because like I get loud but he gets louder too. I think I'm definitely more chill than him. I mean, I'm gonna be friends with him no matter what because even though people question why I'm friends with him, I feel like you can be friends with whoever you want, man. I don't think that should stop you be friends with. Just because I'm friends with someone who might be a bit extreme or different doesn't mean I'm the exact same with them. So.
And yeah, it's hard not to agree with Nathan. You don't make friends with people who just agree with everything you say. You make friends with people you just vibe with. That's enough of a reason for you to be friends.
What is going on? Yo!
Nate turned out to be somewhat of a fan of anime. Couldn't you tell? But I was shocked that the anime that got him into it was...
Tokyo Ghoul. The anime that got me into watching anime.
You know, I would have been fine if it was just the first season, but it was all of it, including the second season.
Or the whole series.
I enjoy it all personally. I enjoy it all personally.
Yeah, we went on and on talking about random things for over an hour.
American Target do sell the same things.
I even tried selling him Freerun, but alas, I had to go away for an hour, and it was already 12 AM for him.
I'm gonna be asleep in an hour.
Dude, you're awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Hey,
you.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Bye.
I love you too, very bye.
Playing VRChat suddenly became crushingly lonely without him. I visited this world in hopes that I would experience something similar to the Quiet Room. This place was all neon and violet, people were just doing random things and it almost felt a little disorienting. I talked for a bit with a guy from Singapore there.
Feel a bit lonely again.
I then entered this room with people just talking, and this happened. I was captured by a street artist. This was so sweet, my heart nearly melted.
I don't want
We
to
good?
Hold on. Oh my fucking god, that stick twist.
Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty cool.
But sooner rather than later, my PC could not withstand the extreme amount of gaming present and crashed. And as much as being captured by a street artist and listening to people talk felt charming, I couldn't escape this feeling of loneliness, even in this crowd. I joined a Beat Saber world in hopes someone would join me.
Honestly, this song goes kinda hard. I'm so lonely.
And that did happen.
Yo, what's up?
But
Yo! Fine. Okay. You guys can have fun.
I joined an arcade game server where I listened to some guys talking about the gym. I felt too much like a third wheel to interrupt them, so I just sat there for 3 hours and hoped that they would talk to me. Which, of course, didn't happen.
I could drink a seagull.
I escaped the vibrant realm of tropical islands and jet ski racetracks. But aside from somehow getting exhausted from riding a virtual jet ski, nothing much came out of it. Guess the people weren't particularly extroverted there. As my last-ditch attempt to find someone to talk with, I joined the Quiet Room once again. I don't know what I expected. There was no one there, so I just lay down on the bed upstairs. It was then that the realization hit me with full force. I talked to people from all around the world. I talked to a guy from Belgium, a guy from Canada, Australia, Singapore, Scotland, New Jersey, and Tennessee. These people weren't some famous businessmen or popular celebrities, but that's the point. These were regular, normal people with their own lives, futures, paths, stories, and jokes to tell. In just 2 days, I made so many friends and gained fresh perspectives on so many aspects of my life. Isn't this insane that you can have intimate talks with people thousands of kilometers away with such ease? You don't even need to own a VR headset. VRChat is completely free of charge on Steam. There's a reason behind the countless stories that we've set in realities of our own creation. Often these realms allow for volumes more to be spoken about who we truly are than traditional settings. They present us in our purest form, without having to deal with all the tags and stereotypes, with no need to worry about your looks or impressions, or the countless social constructs on how you should look and behave, but just letting you choose what you're most comfortable with, letting your mind speak itself. It is this that allows people in VRChat to be some of the sweetest and most open people I've ever had the pleasure to meet in my life. And when I think about it like that, in just 24 hours I managed to see and experience so many novel things and meet so many awesome people. And I hope that if you ever experience VRChat for yourself, you'll have a similar experience, as I can only sum up my journey with just one word. Wow.